What's up, YouTube? I got a comment on my recent video on finding out which zone 2 is right. That was important in my opinion. I might have made a little mistake in talking about the zone 2 definition from Inigo San Millan based on his conversation with Peter Attia. So I just wanted to highlight that comment. Thank you, Richard, for posting that comment. I think it's some insightful details and corrections. So I wanted just to highlight that, put it forward. So I'm going to read it out and I'm going to put it on the screen as well. So Richard says, hey, quick correction. In the conversation between Peter and Inigo, Inigo's functional definition of zone 2 was related to the highest level of fat oxidation that someone achieves before shifting primarily to glucose metabolism. The 1.7 to 1.9 lactate range is Peter Attia's heuristic for himself and his clients. Inigo makes it clear that it depends on the person. For instance, he was discussing high-level cyclists and stating that their zone 2 is in the lower lactate range because of their metabolic efficiency. You can see him and Peter discussing this in the video that you referenced at 55 minutes. I watched your other video on zone 2 and found it incredibly helpful, so thank you for your content. So thank you, Richard, for bringing those details to light. I must have missed that in the video in question, but which is interesting, right? Highest fat oxidation. I'm releasing a video today on the topic, so it'll be interesting how those things kind of come together. But from my experience, what you see is highest level of fat oxidation is going to be correspondent with the minimum lactate values that you might see on a test. So sometimes what you see is baseline, and then it goes down and then it starts climbing, right? And in that little divot where it goes down, my understanding is that this is where you're going to be utilizing the most lipids, the most fats, because this is where you have the least relative activation of glycolysis, and as such you have the space to oxidize fats. So I guess if we take that definition, then Inigo's zone 2 definition would be the area before the first increase in lactate, given that once lactate starts rising from that min point, this is when we're going to start shifting back down on the fat oxidation curve, and obviously proportionally going back higher on the glucose or on the sugar side. So that's a very valuable comment, and I wanted to highlight it via that short little video. I think it's important to try to stay correct in the information that we share, and like everybody else, I make mistakes, and so here's one, and I hope that this little video corrects the aim of what I was trying to put forward. I still think my claim, quote unquote, stands regarding simply the different definitions of zone 2 that different professionals might have in the space, but it's good that Richard brought the fact to light that Inigo doesn't necessarily talk about that 1.7 to 1.9. He talks about that fat max, which is the highest level of fat oxidation, and as such the lowest level of lactate in the blood. And so the zone 2 for him would be that intensity just before the first increase in blood lactate. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed that short little correction video. Thanks again, Richard, for the comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.